So, Magnus Carlsen, one of the best chess players in the world, champion numerous times and so on, IQ of 190, that is quite interesting. Well, he's moving to Spain. Why would he do that? Well, that's what we'll talk about in this video. Guys, as always, if you want to learn more about survival and preparedness, you have the channel with a ton of information. I always recommend also my books, Street Survival Skills and Surviving the Economic Collapse, just to be better prepared, just to start thinking in a certain way. Well, maybe not all that unlike our friend here, Magnus Carlsen. Why would you do that? Isn't it a disaster with the flaws and all of this? Well, yeah, kind of, sort of, depends on what, and it's not all bad. And this is where objective analysis comes into play. Folks, as I say all the time, there's no place is perfect. But you have to take into account both things. Yes, politically speaking, it's quite bad. And yes, in terms of the way in which they've handled the disaster in Valencia, it was very poorly so. But why is it that Magnus Carlsen wants to move, or in fact will be moving to Spain? Let him self-explain.
I'm trying to learn Spanish because I will be moving to Spain after a bit because of weather.
Because of weather, right. I used to think that was a stupid thing. Yeah, of course, he's not exactly a stupid person, but I used to think that. I used to think that whenever people say, oh, yeah, because of weather, because of the climate being so nice, and I would always think, well, if it was because of that, I would be living in some tropical shit show of a country just because it has good weather. You have, along the Ecuador, you have a number of potential places in Central America or so on, where it's just super cheap, very affordable, very low cost of living, and fantastic weather, right? Hell, Argentina has very good weather as well, depending on where you're going. It's maybe not so tropical-ish weather, but still very nice, especially if you compare it to what our friend here, Magnus Carlsen, is probably used to in Norway, which is going to be fucking horrible. But I used to think it was not a big deal until I lived in Ireland for 4 years, and then you realize, god damn it, yeah, if it rains all the time and it's always cloudy, it does get kind of depressing. Now, I'm not an easily to depress sort of person, pretty upbeat and positive, even though it may not seem that, but I am. I like rain. I actually still like rain a lot. What I don't like so much is having like darkness year round. But there is something to be said about, yes, the nice weather is definitely very nice to have. It does improve your quality of life significantly. It means that you can be outdoors more. It means that you have more exposure to sun, which if you happen to be particularly prone to depression, a lot of sun is definitely very good. It's very good for you in general. This bullshit of wear sunscreen, actually latest research shows that no, don't wear sunscreen. Just don't expose yourself too much to sun in the middle of the day when it's the hottest. But don't even wear sunscreen. No, it's actually not really good for you. Lots of chemicals, and you actually need to absorb the sun so as to process lower cholesterol and a bunch of interesting stuff. And let's let Magnus keep on explaining here.
I've had a lot of winters in Norway, but I feel like I'm privileged enough that I can sort of choose more where to live. I still want to spend time in Norway, but I probably don't want to spend 6 months of a winter here. But apart from that, I have fairly simple pleasures in life. So I had times last year where I thought that I was going to try and carve out sort of a new career path that I could pursue at the same time as chess, but so far I haven't really found it, and also so far I haven't been any less happy because of it.
What is your advice to young people?
Be curious, learn, read, and play chess.
Be curious, learn, read, and play chess. Well, that's not really all that bad. That's actually good advice. But going back to why he's moving to Spain, the simple pleasures he's talking about, of course, first of all, the first thing that came to his mind is weather, which I now get a lot more than I used to get a while back. Now I'm a little bit older and wiser, I would like to think. I get it. I get why weather is such a big thing. I understand it more than I did before. Again, it's going to be depending a lot on the person. Maybe you're a little bit more resilient to shitty weather, but it still does get old, man. I've always considered myself super resilient to shitty weather. I actually liked shitty weather, snow and rain and clouds, but eventually when it's all damn day long, year round, it does get kind of old. But I think he likes football, so definitely would be a good place to be in Spain if you enjoy playing football, if you enjoy golfing, playing golf.
That I was going to try and pleasures in life. But apart from that, I have fairly simple pleasures in life.
Playing golf, being outdoors, playing football, going to the beach. The food is also fantastic. It's also it's not only fairly, it's actually very safe in terms of crime, violent crime, and so on. So the political aspect being a mess, how poorly they manage a crisis and so on. Good for them that there's don't have that many of them. But if you take into account the good and the bad, I think that the good really outweighs the bad, and especially in these critical things, the quality of the food. The quality of the people as well, being pretty positive, cheerful, level-headed folks in general. Yeah, it's kind of hard to beat. You have Portugal as well, which is super interesting. I like Italy too. But man, Spain is definitely up there, and that's why you see people like Magnus, Carlsen, especially Nordic guys that have the option of traveling back and forth. They go there and avoid those 6 months of winter and, well, whatever. But yeah, fairly popular for all the right reasons. That's going to be all for now, guys, as always, and see you on an unexpected video. Take care.